You know, some objects aren't just things. They're stories you can actually hold in your hand, just packed with history and incredible engineering. And the new Seiko Speedtimer SRQ055, it is absolutely one of those objects. It's a direct descendant of a true legend. So today, we're going to unpack the story behind this watch and figure out what makes it the new heir to the Speedtimer throne.
To really get what this new watch is all about, we have to go back in time. Way back. Back to one single incredible year where Japanese engineering was just hitting its stride, both on the racetrack and, you guessed it, on the wrist.
Okay, so picture this. It's 1969. This wasn't just any year. Seiko comes out with a total game changer, the world's first automatic chronograph with a vertical clutch and a column wheel. I mean, that was a massive leap forward in precision timekeeping. And at the exact same time, the legendary Datsun 240Z sports car is born. Now, these two paths weren't just running in parallel, they were on a collision course. And sure enough, by 1971, that very same Datsun, with Seiko as a sponsor, goes on to win the absolutely grueling East African Safari Rally. So this isn't a coincidence, right? This shared heritage, this story of performance and durability, that's the very soul of the new watch we're talking about.
Okay, let's fast forward from that dusty rally track all the way to today. For 2025, Seiko is launching a whole new Speedtimer lineup. And yeah, it includes some really cool special editions that celebrate that Datsun connection, but we're going to focus on the new heart of the collection, the one model that's really designed to carry that legacy forward for everybody.
And here it is, the SRQ055. Now this is the new, regular production model, and that's a really key detail. It means this isn't some super rare, limited thing you'll never be able to find. No, this is the core model. It's the accessible heart of the family, and it's built to be the definitive speed timer for this generation.
So how exactly does this new model build on that incredible legacy? Well, let's break this watch down just like you would a performance car. We'll start with its chassis and its dashboard.
All right, let's talk about the chassis. We're looking at a really solid 42mm stainless steel case, and when you pair that with a thickness of 14.6mm, it just has this substantial, really confident feel on the wrist, which is exactly what you want from a sports chronograph, right? It's built to have a presence, but it's still super wearable. And protecting that dashboard, or the dial, is a tough, dual-curved sapphire crystal that's got an anti-reflective coating, so you're always going to have a clear view of what's going on, no matter the light.
Okay. Now this right here is the single biggest design change from the more recent speed timers. Before, you had the tachometer scale, that's the thing you use to measure speed, on an inner ring right on the dial. And honestly, it could make things feel a little bit busy. On the new SRQ055, Seiko moved it to the outside onto the external fixed bezel. It might sound like a small change, but trust me, the impact is huge.
Because by moving that scale to the outside, the dial can suddenly breathe. It's cleaner, it's way more open, and it just feels more balanced. It totally declutters the dashboard, which makes it so much easier to read at a quick glance. And it gives the whole watch a more refined and actually visually smaller look on your wrist, even with its pretty robust size.
The layout itself is just pure function. You've got that classic 369 chronograph setup. That's your minute counter, your hour counter, and your running seconds. Everything is just designed for pure legibility, from the super crisp printing and the applied indices that give it a nice sense of depth to the Luma Bright on the hands and marker so you can see it in the dark. And get this, even the date window over at 4:30 has a disc that's color matched to the black dial. It's all about that purposeful, really thoughtful design.
All right, we've looked at the bodywork. Now it's time to pop the hood and check out the engine. Because this is where the SRQ055 connects directly back to that revolutionary watch from 1969. So, just for anyone who might be new to this, let's do a quick definition. An automatic chronograph is basically a tiny, self-winding mechanical engine. It powers itself just with the motion of your arm, and on top of telling the time, it's got a fully integrated stopwatch built right in. It is a true marvel of microengineering, all just ticking away right there on your wrist. The engine inside this SRQ055, it has a heartbeat of 28,800 vibrations per hour. Now that high frequency is what gives the chronograph seconds hand that beautifully smooth, sweeping motion, instead of like a jerky little tick.
It also means the stopwatch can measure time in smaller, more precise chunks, delivering the kind of accuracy that this watch's racing heritage totally demands.
So we're talking about the caliber 8R48. And what's so cool is that it uses the same vertical clutch and column wheel system as the 1969 original. That's what gives the pushers that really satisfying solid click, and it stops the seconds hand from jumping when you start the timer. But it's been seriously updated for the 21st century. It uses something called MEMS technology, which is actually a process they borrowed from making semiconductors, to create these microscopic parts with insane precision and durability. It's the perfect blend of historic architecture and modern high-tech execution. So we've got the heritage, we've got the design, we've got the engine. Let's bring it all home and look at the final details that really define this watch's place in the world.
You know, a watch is only as good as it feels on your wrist. And Seiko has given the bracelet a complete update here. The links now have a sharper, more defined design. And this isn't just for looks. The new shape actually lets the bracelet move and flow better, so it wraps more comfortably around your wrist for everyday wear. It's a small detail that just screams that this watch is meant to be worn, not just looked at.
And that really gets to the heart of what the SRQ055 is all about. This quote, it just sums it up perfectly. While those limited editions are amazing collectibles, this model is built to be the robust, practical choice for somebody who wants to actually wear their Speedtimer every single day. It's a tool, not a museum piece.
So what's the price for all this heritage and tech? The SRQ055 comes in at 2,800 euros. And for that, you are getting a watch with a true in-house automatic chronograph movement, with that legendary column wheel and vertical clutch. That's something that, frankly, often costs way, way more from the Swiss brands. This is your price of entry for a really serious piece of watchmaking, and it's backed by that incredible 50-year story of motorsport innovation.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. In a world full of smartwatches that are basically designed to be obsolete in a couple of years, what's the value of a purely mechanical legacy that you can wear on your wrist? What is it worth to own an object that was born from a racing heritage, with an engine that you could pass down for generations? That's the real question that this watch is asking.